Hello, is it audible? Is it audible, Father?
Yeah, presently it is audible. Yes, please.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Welcome everyone to the Inspire 20 IEDC Zonal Meetup and IED Summit Precursor 2021 event of Kerala Startup Mission, which is organized jointly by IEDC and IIC of Jyoti Engineering College. The objective of the Inspire program is to strengthen the student community by helping innovators to have deeper awareness about the strength and weakness of IEDCs. About 20 Inspire events conducted across different colleges. First of all, let me welcome Father Dr. Jose Kannambura, Academic Director of our college, to this program.
Thank you.
He is more than an academician. He was the founder and managing director of Jeevan Telecasting Corporation Limited. He was the man behind Mastermind competition in partnership with Malayalam Manorama, and he also an instrumental in bringing Tata Technologies to establish an integrated industrial incubation center in our campus. On behalf of IEDC and IIC, I welcome Father to this event.
Thank you and good morning.
Next, let me welcome our Biju sir to this event. He was now headed the president of Institute Innovation Council (IIC) of our college. Welcome, sir. I welcome our alumni, young entrepreneurs, and also one student of our group to this event. They are the real inspiration of this event. I welcome all the alumni, young entrepreneurs. I also welcome our student leader, CEO, IEDC Riju Tia to this function. He is the real pillar of this IEDC, as IEDC is itself a student-initiated one. I welcome all the participants to the Inspire 20 event. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Father Dr. Jose Kannambura, Academic Director of Jyoti Engineering College, to deliver the keynote address.
So, Professor Anil Anthony, Dr. Biju CV, young entrepreneurs and our alumni members, Mr. Varun Menon, Christo, Varkis Achul, Sancho, our present student and entrepreneur Ajmal, Mr. Riju, all other participants, students of this college and elsewhere, my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, this is a wonderful day. I wish each and every one of you a great day. And this is a summit organized by IEDC and IISc, initiated under the leadership of Professor Anil and Dr. Biju. And I, on the outset, congratulate both these youngsters, professors, as well as the young entrepreneurs who came out from this college, and my dear student entrepreneurs or would-be entrepreneurs also. I congratulate all of them. So I am expected to speak on something related with the entrepreneurship. Most of you are either present or past students of this college or any other engineering college, I believe. As a student, your dream may be mostly focused on getting a good job in one of the reputed organizations. It may be industry, it may be a service company, or it may be something else, maybe bank and so on and so forth. But as technology students, you should have a wonderful dream, much more than a job. Of course, everyone may not be capable of starting something new. But still, I would say, objective of a student, as far as they are the student of this college or any other college, must be either to get a job or to go for a research, higher studies and continued research, or the third one to start something on their own. That is what is called the entrepreneurship. And I would rate those who are on the pursuit of starting something on their own as the top people of the entire group. Usually those who are scoring very high marks, they get into some companies getting a good job, making their life safe and secure. That is fine. I congratulate them. And another group who are bent on research and studies, they go for higher studies and then end up with research, publications, so on and so forth. I appreciate them as well. But the third group, they might not be performing very well in the academic results, but they are the right people who are going to contribute to the nation in the national wealth generation in a big way. So I appreciate them maximum. Very especially, I just want to make a mention about some two, three young entrepreneurs from this group: Varun, Christo, Varki, Sancho, Ajmel, and all. Ajmel is still a student of the third year, and it is really great. Why I congratulate them very well is that to get a job and to make life secure is an approach wherein there is no mastery required. There is no responsibility to be undertaken is required. You just get a job, do whatever is requested of you by the organization and secure your money and fine. Of course, you will be trying to go in the career by climbing the career stair in a big way and finally ending up with maybe the highest position in that organization. That is there. But at the same time, those who undertake the real entrepreneurship, they are the real masters because they have to plan everything. They have to have the idea in their mind. It's a kind of conceiving. And then after conceiving, a real incubation has to take place. And in due time, they have to deliver, just like a human birth. And once it is delivered, it is a small child. Now it has to be nurtured and it should be made grown. And finally, a day must come, it should be graduated. By graduation means it is not the degree assessment, securing, rather it is a kind of stage wherein the industry that he or she has produced can stand on their own. I am very keen on this. So in one of the former colleges, we could bring in one technology business incubation under the DST, Department of Science and Technology. Among the colleges in Kerala, engineering colleges, the TBIs are under the auspices of sponsorship of DST. There are only three. One is in Trivandrum CT, another is in NIT Calicut, and the third one is Amal Jyoti College of Engineering, Kagirapalli. And all of them are doing well. Now, this is the ideal thing because as a nation like India, we require more and more entrepreneurships, more and more startups. Now, how China has become a big power is all because of the new startups. They have thousands of TBIs, technology business incubations, whereas in India, it may be in 100 or 200 maximum under the DST. Of course, every college is claiming to have some TBI, technology business incubation, but it is not straight away under the DST. So DST is supporting only these three in colleges. Of course, away from the colleges, there are some other organizations which are supported by DST, I understand. So this is the area we have to focus on and we have to start on their own. So on the outset, I am congratulating those young entrepreneurs and those who are going to be entrepreneurs from the college because they are doing a great service to the nation. They are generating jobs, whereas the other places, those who are seeking jobs are begging for jobs. So the difference between a beggar and a master or a king, that is the difference between those who are trying to secure a job and those who are starting a new startup and then giving others an opportunity to get a job. Now, I straight away come to entrepreneurship. You might have heard about the story of entrepreneurship in India. Years back, maybe some 10, 12 years back, we had only, under the DST, only Entrepreneurship Development Centers, DEC, EDC. entrepreneurship development centers. They were good in number, but not more than 100. I mean, yeah, not more than 100 across India. And some 10, 12 years back, they introduced a new thing called IEDC. They incorporated innovation also. So this was the beginning of a new paradigm shift, a change in the outlook and culture. So innovation must be a very prominent element in any entrepreneurship, and that is true also. Any other entrepreneurship without having new elements, innovations, may not be successful. Failure rate is more in that because competition is very high. Once we introduce and incorporate innovation, definitely we can go up very high because there is no competitor. Your innovation is your own. There is nothing similar to what is happening. So this is the point that we have to emphasize. We have to incorporate innovation. What is innovation? Innovation is not something that is to be developed totally new. It is not a new invention. Many people are getting confused that anything that is not at all existent is going to be brought in. That is called innovation, is a concept many people have. It is not. Innovation is rather is improvising, improving the existing system with a new feature. Say you are taking a new, the mobile phone, for example. Years back, 10 years back, the mobile phones were basically used mostly for talking to each other. No other feature was there. Whereas at the moment, we know mobile is used for anything and everything. You need not have a projector either. You can use the mobile phone as a projector, wherein the things can be projected on a screen by making use of the mobile. So many features are added. So every additional feature is a part of innovation. This is valid not only for the mobile phones, but every system. Say another innovation may be a feature addition. In addition to that, it can be maybe bringing down the cost. In order to bring down the cost, you have to incorporate a lot of things. So that is also an innovation. So this is one of the very important feature that we have to think about. So whenever you go for a new enterprise, new startup, think that there must be something new, which is slightly variant from what is already happening or existent in the present scenario. So that element you have to emphasize. Now, another point that I would like to emphasize is that it should be basically technology based. It should be a technology incubation center. The technology must be used. It is not a concept wise alone, but the real technology must be there. It is for the production of tangible and intangible services and products. It can be. But the use of technology is very important. Now, the introspection must be focused on that. How much technology is getting used in the new startup that we are going to initiate? So this is a very, very important thing. So technology must be there. It can be social entrepreneurship also. That Varun was speaking something on women empowerment. It can be definitely. It is a social entrepreneurship. Everything may not be completely social entrepreneurship. There will be some technical things also involved. But basically, the technology must be utilized because we are basically engineers. That's the point that I just want to do it. Now, there can be social entrepreneurship in many areas. As Varun was telling, it is a women entrepreneurship. It can be regarding something cleanliness, maybe something for the love of the nation. All these things also can be focused. But our primary objective is to make use of technology. In whatever social entrepreneurship also we may be undertaking, but there also some technology must be employed. Then only our relevance is going to be very privileged. So this is one important thing. So it should be basically technology based, and primarily it should be having innovation. So it need not be an early new, some additional features. So I quoted the example of mobile phone. The new innovation is incorporated. Say video conferencing. During this time of COVID-19, the video conferencing tool was excessively used all over the world. Now, I do not know how much tons of money Zoom has already secured from different players. Now, there was a report sometime back in Kerala, some group, basically from Alappuzha or somewhere, they have developed a new tool which can definitely replace Zoom, but it hasn't come into the market in a very big way. So it should be that. So the video conferencing, it's a wonderful area some of you can look into. Though there are many tools already available as Zoom or Google Meet and so many other things, still there is space for new video conferencing tools. You incorporate some of the new features which are not available in the present event. This is definitely something new. It can be medicine. So now a big area entrepreneurship has come into is the development of the vaccine for COVID. Pfizer was there and they have developed. The Serum Institute has already produced a wonderful vaccine. Yeah, and that has been used from the last week onwards all over India, and millions of units they are producing. Of course, there was a fire hazard also that you have come across in the papers last week. I think we will surpass that, and then we will be bringing it into real use all over India. And there are so many takers for this medicine from outside. It is getting exported to different countries. Afghanistan, for example, they are in queue for getting this medicine, this vaccine for them. It is not a medicine, rather it is a vaccine. So this is another development. Now somebody can think about a new medicine which are rectifying the problems that are associated with the infection of COVID. So people have infected with COVID. Now they have come back. They are negative now. But still, there will be some bad effects of the COVID already existing in their physical body. Now, can there be some medicines developed? So this is another innovation. I'm just giving you an example. So this is very important. Now, another innovation may be reducing the cost. So if you are going for a technology that is already available, which is done in foreign countries, maybe in China, Germany, France, America, or Italy, wherever, and we are importing it, it is going to be very expensive. Can we do it at a low cost? For which some technology adaptation, flexible adaptation must be required. So you are incorporating. This is another area. You can reduce the cost. Even reduction of the cost itself is an innovation. So can we think about it? See, I still remember in my former college, we started with one technology which was we were thinking could be used for the cars and all the vehicles while driving during the night. This was our beginning. So I discussed with a gentleman, one of the professors of computers, electronics. I asked, his name was Satish, I still remember. I asked him, there is a problem because I was driving usually during the night 150 kilometers because my house is that far from that particular college. So I was driving and then I was facing a very big difficulty of the light that is coming, the big beam coming and falling into my eyes from the gadis that are coming from the opposite direction, because temporarily we are getting blind and this could cause a lot of accidents. So can there be a kind of an technology wherein automatically the light will get dim whenever an opposite vehicle is coming? So we were thinking about it, and this young man brought in a new technology. And when we inquired, this technology was already available in the market in foreign countries, but not in India. And in the foreign countries, it was costing maybe lakhs. Whereas this gentleman could produce it even for 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees. And also technology also they developed, because there was a difficulty of interruption of light by the ambient light. So they were utilizing it with the intensity of the light. So once the intensity goes to a particular level, light will get dim. That was the technology previous other people were using, but they incorporated something new. They were changing the wavelength of the light that is incorporated. So for which some incorporation of the wavelength is introduced into the light that is generated from the lights of the running vehicle. So this should be applied in both the vehicles, the one that we are driving, also the one that is getting driven by the opposite direction. So this could be general, and this was the beginning of that all new thinking of the innovation. Now this is another thing. So technology can be made use of for new entrepreneurship. So this innovation must be very, very important. Then also the cost reduction also is very, very important. That is also part of the innovation. Now, the another thing that we have to focus is that we should be focusing on automation and mechanization. So this is part of Industry 4.0. So our new entrepreneurships or innovations must be aligned with the Industry 4.0. Industrial Revolution 1 was the mechanization process by the invention of the steam engine by James Watt. Second was the introduction or invention of electric energy and then getting it applied over the automation and all. And the third was the intervention of electronics and then internet. And fourth one is definitely the present world, wherein artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, industrial Internet of Things, so many things are there. Virtual, augmented reality, virtual reality, so many things new. So all these things will be belonging to the fourth industrial revolution. So our new entrepreneurships must be having something aligning with, joining with, going along with this Industry 4.0 also. So we should be making use of the latest technology, maybe blockchain, maybe so many things are there. So we should have some understanding about this, and we should know how to make use of these things into our new entrepreneurship. So this is another this thing. It can be in the farming area, so many things. You see, Israel is the country wherein this has been utilized thoroughly for many purposes and very especially for farming. Their individual seedlings are taken care of and protected according to this in Israelite technology. If it is a paddy field or a wheat field, no, there are some devices, drones or other things are defined, are designed, and they will look after each and every small little plant and seedlings. So care is given. So though it is a farming technology, they are making use of the Industry 4.0 associations with that. Can we think about that? There are a lot of areas where these things can be applied in a big way. It is not a fun alone. Of course, it is very fun, and we should be having that passion and interest in that. But at the same time, this is going to be contributing to the national wealth in a big way. So farming also, somebody I think Warki was mentioning about something on farming, I believe. He also must be doing that. So this Industry 4.0 technology also must be incorporated. So this is another point. And one more point I just want to add is that whenever we think about the entrepreneurships, innovations and other things, one care must be given that the environment must be protected. What has happened today is that for the last half a century, we were not taking much of attention to the protection of the environment and nature. And that has become a real curse to the entire humanity. The earth has been exploited excessively, as if there is nobody to continue in this world and nothing is left for them. This cannot be. So there are innumerable generations to come, and the earth must be protected for their sake alone. The earth is not given for the present population alone, no. So for them, for the coming generations also, it must be protected. So this environment protection, that caution, that idea must be very good. Now, somebody definitely have to come to solid waste treatment. So the other day I was going through one of the news wherein I think some Norwegian or Netherlands group some NGO group. I think the NGO group's name is Othello or something. Now they have designed a new concept, new entrepreneurship they have started. They are making use of all the solid plastic waste. And they are calculating that billions and billions of tons of plastic waste is dumped here and there and in the ocean as well. And they are going to collect it and they are converting that one to material for manufacture, for the building material. So in countries like the underdeveloped countries in Africa and other places where such materials are not available, they are converting that one into solid bricks and so many things. Almost everything for a house building, they are converting the solid waste, the plastic waste. Can we think something in that line? You can Google out and then find what is the method they are adopting. And there is innumerable amount of quantity of plastics available because everywhere it is thrown out. It is on the roadside, it is in the rivers, it is on every household, it is on every field, every campus. Tons of materials are available. Can we think about something? So what I just wanted to mention is the protection of the nature, the environment. This is a very, very important point that we have to take care. So in the honor, so I'm just coming to the end. Primarily, I would advise each student of our college and of any college to think about entrepreneurship, think about startups, because they are doing greater service than anybody else. Those who are looking for jobs, of course, they are also serving the nation, but the level of or the degree of the service that they are rendering, and you compare it with that of the entrepreneurs, the service rendered by the entrepreneurship is really great. Really great. It is uncomparable. They are the people who are contributing to the development or the progress or the growth of the national wealth. They are the people. It is a very basic thing that unless you are focusing on industry, and that too mostly in the manufacturing industry, our growth rate will be constrained. Every nation, this has happened in China, of course, there is it's a small gradual shift of the focus of industries from China to other nations. Now we are on advantage, especially during this COVID period. Things are happening favorable to India, and this is a golden opportunity. This opportunity we should capture and make use of it. Of course, we were having the slogans like "Make in India" for the last, say, 6, 7, or 8 years, but nothing has happened in India. Even for a safety pin, we are depending on. I am exaggerating a little. We are depending on other countries outside the world, outside world. So we should start manufacturing our own things. See the tanks that are used in the war. India could not make. None of the planes we could make. Even helicopters, of course, that we have got the HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. They are doing something. But for war fighters, fighter planes, we are depending on France and other countries. Rafale, we were importing them in the last year, and there were a lot of controversies, discussions over that. Why can't we make? You see, technicians, all we have. Our human resource is really rich and high. You go even to the international companies, say Google, for example, the giant of the software industry. Who is heading it at the moment? We have got our Sundar Pichai from Chennai, qualified from IIT Kharagpur. Microsoft, though it was started with Bill Gates, now it is headed by Satya Nadella, and so many other people are there. We have got great people. It is not the shortage or scarcity of the human resources, but it is because of the political will that we are not capable of manufacturing things of our own. So, Make in India still remains a slogan. We could not start. It is not regarding the warfare in implements alone, but other things as well. See, somebody was telling me the other day that even the steel plate which is used for converting that one into gas cylinders, which has to sustain a very high pressure inside when it is filled with the gas, LPG or any other thing. That is not still manufactured in India. We are importing the plate from outside, and then only the fabrication part is there. I mean, the final fine tuning into the gas cylinder. So, like that, everywhere, we are not that good. So, even we have got shipyards and other things. We are manufacturing ships, but most of the things we are importing from other countries. Why can't we do it? We have got every source. So, my dear friends, my dear students also, I'm telling you, please focus on this. We are the young group of people. As I'm quoting Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, he was dreaming in 2020, your famous book you might have heard about. Now we are already in 2021. By 2020, India will be number one in most of the fields. And you must have gone through chapter after chapter. Every industry he was quoting: minerals, manufacturing, computer, technology, electronics, communication, conveyance, so many things, chemical industry and everything. He was mentioning everywhere India will be number one. But where are we now? We are already in 2021. So this is a point we have to ponder about. So my youngsters, you may not be capable of doing all the things together in a single go. Suddenly it may not happen, but gradually you keep the foundation, lay the foundation basically, and then build, continue to build upon that. And day will come that we will be number one in the world, whole world. So for which you depend on technology. It should be technology incubation. Technology must be the beginning of the startup. Now you should have the innovation concept. Please remember, yeah, there should be something new compared to the existing systems. Either the new technology must be incorporated, every day new technology is coming up. Keep abreast with those things. So please go and read and think how we can implement these things into our entrepreneurship. Also, additional features we have to think about. Think about a reduction of the cost. That is another thing. Our people may not be able to afford to the already existing systems which are very expensive. Our people are ordinary people. So that focus must be there in front of our mind, and we should think about that. And also focus on automation. Many of the things which are manually done. You see, I can quote an example. Say the farming sector in Kerala. Outside Kerala, farm lands are big. Many acres of land is available on a plain level. Whereas in Kerala, every nook and corner, there are small pieces of land which are used for farming. And that also, it is not a horizontal terrain, but it is ups and downs are there. Then the mechanization is very tough. You can take an example of cardamom plantation. I don't know whether you have visited any plantations. The harvesting is so tough. Only manually it can be done. Can you think about something in this line of mechanizing? So many things. Say mango. Of course, there are so many techniques developed to harvest the mango. Can you think something simple? Say the jackfruit is coming up like anything. Can you think about harvesting? Because the tree is very high. How to get these fruits without any damage, and how to process it, how to add the value, and then make it really usable for other people, and the farmers must be getting real price also for that. You see, banana and plantain, so much it is grown, but most of the things are wasted. There is no system to have the real growth, to keep it safe, to process it, to add value, and to market it. This is a big area. So many examples I can quote from farming sector alone. So this is a wonderful area. Now, recently you might have read in papers that a group of people got a patent for this one, milking the cow without using any power, only pedal power. Human pedaling alone is sufficient, for which 3 people were awarded a patent. You must have read it in some few days back on the backside of a Manorama. It was given. One professor is from Amal Jodi. I know I am a very close friend of mine, Dr. Jipu. I called him and congratulated him. There are simple things but innovative, which are of real use, which can be applied to our common man. That is the objective. So the ordinary people must be in your front. You must be thinking something for them. The real users, we should have an idea and then make use of your technology capabilities and go forth, and success is yours. There is definitely sure it is. So I'm waiting up. My time is over. By 9:30 I should have, now it is past 5 minutes crossed, so I apologize. So thank you very much for listening patiently to my this half-an-hour talk. Wish you all the best. Let us all together make a resolution that we will put all our energy and focus on this, and we will do something really good for the people, by which in turn it will be beneficial to us also. That is also a great thing. So we also should benefit, definitely. But at the same time, it should be a real boon, real useful thing for the public. Let it happen. Wish you all the best. My special congratulations to Anil and Biju, Dr. Biju, and others who organized it. Thank you very much, and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. Now, for the introducing young entrepreneur, I call upon Dr. Biju CV, President IIC.
Good morning, and it was a really eye-opening talk by our academic director, our father, Dr. Jose Kanambira. His experience in different domains and expertise to build and maintain the good relationship with the industrial giants are actually it is model for us. We should learn many things from him, because the way he performed the things, or convert certain situations that is useful, that is very attractive to the society, it is really wonderful. Actually, what I said, working under Father Jose is like he's a star and we are the planets. Actually, the star is radiating and we are reflecting. So I am 100% confident that working with Reverend Father Jose Kanambira, our academic director, is a real inspiration for us. Anyway, we are going to the next level, that is the introduction of these young entrepreneurs. Is it audible? Okay. Now, we people are lucky to have the nodal officer Anil sir, who continuously monitoring the opportunities. And as we know, Kerala Startup Mission is organizing. Okay, I hope some Kerala Startup Mission is organizing IEDC summit. I hope you know the difference between the innovation and invention. Or definitely you people are very clear about innovation and invention. I believe that innovation, that is the very first step of invention. We cannot make anything totally new in the very first stage. So we start with innovation, that is the slight modification of these existing systems, so that we can have the invention in the second stage. So invention, that is the first, innovation, that is the first step. After that, you can move to the invention stage. And actually, this type of summit that brings the student innovators and other stakeholders under one umbrella. There are certain people who have the idea. There are certain people who want to materialize it. They have the financial source. So the umbrella that brings under the these student innovators and stakeholders definitely will be a platform to nurture our startup or entrepreneurships. And the transformation from this academic domain into a product, that is really challenging, and it needs a lot of qualities. And when somebody starting a particular venture, I think it is the first edition. So many people talk about entrepreneurship, and they may not start or they may not put the first step to materialize it. So it is actually there is a statement that is called first edition is always better than the zeroth edition. Many people will talk about the entrepreneurship industry and all, but they may not put the first step to materialize it. So really appreciate the people who started the entrepreneurship and also made their own contribution to the society. We know that getting a job and working on that job is comparatively easy than a startup, because if you are good in design, you can work. If you are good in operate a machine, or if you are good in planning, you can work in certain domain. But entrepreneurship that demands wide range of skills. Actually, we have to start with an idea. We should come with an idea. We have to design. We have to prototype it, and setting the industry, managing the industry, finance, human relationships, marketing, then promoting the product, diversification, introducing new models or varieties. All those things are really challenging. Actually, one person who is working in a particular industry may not be aware about the other things happening in that industry. When a person starts an industry, should be aware about all the activities that is happening there, especially in the initial days. Now, I really appreciate and honestly appreciate the effort taken by our alumni to start the their venture, and I congratulate them. And we have their experience sharing session immediately after this. Now, I hope uh, Biju, the CEO, who is the man behind connecting the successful alumni entrepreneurs to our students. Actually, this experience sharing is like a literature survey. Once you do a research, you have to know what are the things happened in earlier. So in this particular case, you can see that our students are getting opportunities to know what are the things already happened or the things contributed our students. So here we have our alumni, Sanjo. Actually, I know Sanjo is very matured man and with lot of confidence. I think the confidence of Sanjo, that is the main potential or the quality of Sanjo. I hope he can share a lot of his experience to you that will be definitely useful for the young entrepreneurs or our pre-final year and final year students. And Varun Menon is a man who is very confident, and I know him in the very first year. He came to my cabin and asked about preparing some papers for conference, and in the very first year he published one paper, I think. And Varki F. Tachil, he is a man who is providing solutions in the adverse conditions. Whenever the things are bad, like the flood or corona, whatever it is, Varki will come with solutions. So a man who can provide solutions in adverse conditions is really great. We know that when the things are very fine, people can perform. But when the things are in the adverse condition, performing is very challenging. So I think Varki have a lot of opportunities the days ahead. And Krista Kolanur, again, we know through media and our student activities, he is a highly dedicated and hardworking personality. So he will also provide a lot of to our students. Now, Ajmal Bashir, our student, and his unique way of dealing things also attracted many of our students. So I hope rest of the session they will share their experience. And definitely, that will be an opportunity for our students to know about innovation and continuously. And I hope in future also they will help our students for clarifying their doubts or putting them to build a startup in their career. Okay, thank you very much. I hope they will share their experience now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, on to the experience sharing session. First off, I invite Mr. Sanjo Simon, Managing Director of Triaxia Private Limited, to share your experience.
Hi, Am I audible?
Yes, whatever.
Very good morning. And firstly, I'm very happy to see, this group of 42 people on this call. When we started off this IEDC, it was just like hardly 10 of us in a room, right? So from there to see 42 of us, being active in this, very morning session, I'm happy to see that, right? And next, um, yeah, in this limited time, I'm not sure how much of my experience I can share to you guys, but as I always start, I just wanted to, probably, I normally used to ask this question, why startup, right? This is one question that most people just skip asking themselves, right? Most people, this is the glorified part of being an entrepreneur and starting up, and they just skip asking that question to themselves, why startup? So when I ask this question in groups, some people answer me, they say they want to become, they want to be their own boss. They want to become the next Richard Branson, right? And I just want to, tell those people that that is not the way how startups work, right? Being your own boss might sound, awesome, but at the same time, that's not at all easy, right? When you're working for someone, it's easy. You have an HR and a project manager. You have at most two people or three people to report to, right? And you get paid at the end of the month, right? But when you're on your own, you have to take care of all the employees that you have around you. You are answerable to your employees. You're answerable to the landlord. You're answerable to the customers, right? There's just not one or two person. There are like 10, 15 people involved around you. So for those people who want to start up for the reason want to being your own boss, it is okay. And to become a Richard Branson, it's not happen on day one. So those wanting to start up, don't start up with those pictures that you see of the glorified, stories that you listen to. That is not just the world how it works. So there's this interesting person you should read about Y.T. Shiran, Mr. Y.T. Shiran. He's the father of e-commerce in India. He has written a brilliant book called Failing to Succeed. So if you read that book, you'll get this word called blueprint. So I personally feel that is the biggest quality that you need to become an entrepreneur, especially coming, people like us coming from a tech background, right? So what blueprint stands for is brave and stupid. It's simple, right? So all the luxuries that you get when you work for someone, right? This monthly salary is coming in, you don't have to worry much, right? So with all those things, with all those luxuries that you get while working for someone, you are letting go of all those things, right? And then you are believing in your own idea, and then you're going to fight for it, struggle for it, get it to life and get it to customers, right? So you need to be a lot more brave than you think to get there. So, but at the same time, you need to be stupid to let go of all these things and believe in that idea and work on it. So you need to have that combination of being brave and stupid. So it's a very important quality that you should have. It's a very good book to read if you haven't already. Failing to Succeed. So coming to my experience, I'll just tell a few of the important ones that I just noted down. One is, don't skip the basics. You need to do your research. You need to be not very well versed, but even then you need to have some idea about how the economics work. And so like if you see all these companies around us right now, like Zomato or Swiggy, they spend almost 5 to 3 rupees to make 1 rupee, right? So that doesn't make any sense on the long run because you're bleeding more money than you're making. So we should always, the best way to raise any fund is the customer's money actually. So if you have a customer willing to pay for your product, then you don't need to go outside for looking for funding and stuff. So our prime focus should be, understanding the problem. Like when I listened to Father speaking, and even Viju sir said, we need to look for ideas, and it may not always be coming up with a new idea. There are already existing problems to which there are solutions, but can be improved in terms of cost and efficiency, right? So we find the sweet spot and then we work on it. We don't have to. We will need to spend some money on marketing and stuff, but then we shouldn't be banking on investors' money all through the time, right? Like as long as you start a branch, you have someone to invest in you. You shouldn't be spending all that money on marketing, and then 6 months down the line or 1 year down the line, then you're like bank account is empty and then you cannot go forward. So you should be able to have some kind of idea about how unit economics works. In case of, when you're starting up, you need to spend some time researching on your product, your idea, validating them with actual customers who are going to use them, right? If you have any idea, you cannot skip all those parts. Most often I've seen people, skipping some of these parts, saying, it's okay, man, like we don't have much time, let's rush with it. I mean, we may have to do that, but you should always have an, calculated risk, right? And the thing is, I just want to emphasize the power of starting up in college. The best time to start up, I'd say, is in college. This is a time when you don't have much of commitments, actually. You're expected to study and, that alone, right? So your parents doesn't give you much of a financial burden on you. I mean, it's true, like most of us go for student loans and stuff, but even then, those 4 years that we get are the best time that we can spend, because like I said, we don't have much to spend on our time, right? Like the moment you step out of college, if you want to work on a project, right, you need to have people to work for you, or like a minimum. Like it's not easy to work alone, right? Right. So yeah, so I was speaking about the time in college, right? So you need to set up your own team and work on projects. So let's say on the minimum you need 3 to 4 people to work with, and the moment you step out of college, you are, if you're still dependent on parents, it's not going to work out very well in the long run. So you'll need to figure out ways to make money, and then pay your salaries, and pay the rental, office rent and stuff. So it becomes difficult as you go longer after college. Let's say you're starting up in the second year of college. You've got 3 years to work with, right? So when you're in such a position and you've got friends around you, you got people, like we're all techies after all, right? So find those people interested in working on a startup while in college, surround them, form your team, and then 3 years, you can just do the math, right? You just put a number for your salaries and just calculate it. For 3 years, you don't have to pay any of them. And if it works, the moment you step out of college, you got a brilliant product to work on, and even you might even have paying customers on the day one you step out of college. So in that case, you don't have to worry about a lot of things. I'm not saying, right, if you're making money in college, it's okay. I'm just saying that shouldn't be a prime focus. The prime focus should be on building a product and making sure that it gets on time. Right. So I'll sum up. I'll stop for now. I think I was rushing a bit. I have to run for a meeting. I'm extremely sorry. This was not planned. So in short, I'm very happy to see the IEDC family here, and I'm hoping it grows more, and I'm hoping more entrepreneurs come into this group, and out of this college, when you go out, like there should be 10 more companies providing jobs to another 100 people. It's an awesome thing to do, but do keep in mind all these things. Don't skip the basics. Even if you're a techie, you need to understand the basic math of how the product, like most of us skip almost all the part wherein even after a product is developed, we need to have people working into support, and then bug fixes, and tech support, and customer support. There are a lot of things that has to be taken care of even after the product is live. So it's not just making one product and letting it sit on the shelf. You need people to sell it. You need to budget for marketing and advertisements and sales people, and then support. So there are a lot of things involved. It's not just about making the product. So when you estimate even for a project, it shouldn't be just the development cost for it. It should also be the marketing and other aspects of it. So you should be able to think of all those things. I guess in this 10 minutes, I don't have the luxury of speaking more. Probably we'll plan for another day. If you have if you get stuck or you need help with any discussion, brainstorming, please collect my number from Anil sir. I'll be very happy to talk and discuss ideas, because, don't keep your ideas to yourself. Make sure you talk about it to another 10 people so that you can get more inputs. Because like if you go with your own idea without discussing it with anyone, you might figure out that, that problem must have been just for you. Other 10 people in the room might not have felt it as a big problem. So even then, some ideas might be, valid. So you need to find out who are the right people to talk to about those ideas. So talk about your ideas, sleep on it, dream on it, and then work on it. Let it be a huge success. All the best to all of you.
Thank you, sir. Now I call upon Mr. Varun Menon, CEO of Sankalp Creative Ventures, to share your journey.
Hi guys. Like it's been nice seeing all your old faces, Sanju. It's nice meeting you and Vaki. Like he was my classmate. So getting straight into the point, I'll start from where Sanju left off. So basically, when you have a startup, when you have an idea, it is essential that we communicate and we network. So it is one of the most pivotal pillars, according to me. So, like from me being in college, I mean, there's always a hesitant part where you kind of talk to others and you won't believe in yourself. Like is this idea worth it, or am I talking something foolish? So all of these come across your mind and you got to curb them and you got to just move over, and only if you network well, if you communicate with others, if you find mentors, can you really propel your idea into a startup and startup into an industry. So that is how it goes. Now from about my experience, I started my company before college, so it was alongside my mother. And from what I understood, the difficulties that I face along the way is basically in, when you go into different places, you need people to support you, people to help you, and basically a lot of mental strength. So in all of these aspects, if we have a good networking, if we have good friend circle, good mentors, and that would pretty much be the backbone for your startup. So that is one thing that I emphasize a lot. And the other thing that I would like to touch upon is I know 5 minutes is a very small time to describe my idea, and I won't bore you with what I am doing. So one thing that I would like to put across all of you is like for networking and other things that I am part of a state council, and I would like to invite all of you into the networking meet. So if any of you have any ideas and if you have to brainstorm, discuss, like Sanju said, uh, just come across. Like we have a meet coming across with South African delegates. So I would welcome each and every one of you, and please get in touch. Like please feel free to call me. So I guess that's it. Thank you guys.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Mr. Varki F. Tachil, founder and CEO at ELE Agrotech, to share your experience.
Hope you can see me and hear me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I don't know what to say. I'll tell about my story. I hope that inspires some of you. I started my after college in 2017. I was a classmate of Varun Menon, and he was just in back of my roll number. And I started by a job in Nissan Kalamasheri in a dealership, car dealership. I worked as a technician. I had a craze about automobile, and I was I needed any experience, hands-on experience on automobiles. So I went for as a technician. Like it will be only ITI people are will be doing that job. So I went for a experience in the basic level of industry. After that, I studied a course in designing, and I joined IBIS Medical Equipments Company. From there, I got a mentor. So there's an important role played by mentors uh, for us to start in the startups. So if we find a good mentor, he can help in our ways. In many ways, we could find help from that from our mentor. So in IBIS Medical, the CEO of IBIS Medical, it was Mrs. Sujit. I found he helped me in a lot of ways, being a mentor and guiding me in my startup. And from there, I resigned. He asked me to resign from the job, and he told me that job was not it was not suiting for you. And I started the startup LA Agrotech, and it was called it was an agriculture company. I was starting to I started 2 years before. and it was an agriculture company. And I'll show some of my products. Share. Okay, I cannot share my screen. I'll show. I'll send it to Anil sir. If anyone needs to know about my company, I'll send it to Anil sir. So 2 years before I started my company, in the starting stages, it was a bit difficult. I was not having much savings from these jobs and all. So first I did was instead of going for investors, I directly went for the customer. I had an idea. Uh, like it was used for cattle farms for feeding cattle with green fodder. So it was a fodder machine, hydroponics fodder machine, and I had that idea. And instead of going for investors, I directly went to a customer. Uh, 2 3 customers we went, four customers we went, and only one was willing to do this. As the cost of that machine was around 5 lakhs. So the many were not willing to do that. Uh, Okay. Many were willing, or so I found at last I found a customer, and he was willing to pay advance for that machine, and we started working on it. And he was also a very supportive person. So to find a supportive person, it's difficult. So we spent around 1 year in research for that product, and we spent took a many old shipping container and modified it into a hydroponics unit, and we started with. And now that machine is fully functional. It's in Kandasangado farm. And from that we started showing the other customers that what we made in that farm, and we were getting the customers. And when I used to work, after starting the startup also, I went for a part-time job in an IT company for a marketing and sales, to get an hands-on experience on marketing and sales. From there, we used to carpool every day to a job from Thrissur to Ernakulam. So I used to meet many people working in IT field and different sectors. We used to carpool to Kochi, and I used to talk to them every day. Every day, some new persons, some will be common persons. So I used to talk to them every day about my company and my ideas, and from there I used to create some contacts. So one time I got this person from here at Thrissur. He was working for a IT company, but before that he was working in IT sector of Milma company. So Milma is directly in Milma is also a producer of milk, which uses this cattle feed and all. They will be in need of cattle feeds. So he shared me some of his contacts, and I was able to sell some machines to Milma. So, and after that, when I was in that company, there was a manager called Anish, and I used to talk to him about my company always. And at last became a potential investor of my company. And now we are developing a small machine like this cattle feed machines for small cattle. Like in some houses there will be around 3 cattle and all, and they find it difficult to feed these cattle with green fodder. So we are developing a small machine so that the fodder needs of this small cattle farms can be met. So and after that we are getting stable on this hydroponics things. And suddenly this corona COVID came, and our customers were not willing to spend money on these big projects. So during that time, there was an electronics partner for my company. It's Aaron Labs in Thrissur. So I met with an accident during that time also. Even though that time I met asked this electronics partner what could be developed during this Corona time to survive this financial situation. So we started working on the ventilator. We started with the ventilator, but we was not finding any potential investors. So ventilator we just developed, and with partnership in Jodi. And after that, we developed some sanitizer machines and hand washing kiosk. That sanitizer machine, we sold it around 100 pieces. More than 100 pieces we sold the sanitizer machine. And after that, now that demand for the sanitation machine slightly came down, and we were concentrating on a hand washing kiosk. Actually, we developed this hand washing kiosk for using in this COVID times, but it seems to be it has other applications that this hand washing kiosk have other applications in hospitals and all. So we put some time in that hand washing kiosk, and we developed it to a product. Now we supply to Jaipur, some schools in Jaipur, and around 6 or 7 pieces were given to Jaipur, and we did some pieces to Qatar, and we donated. We did a fundraising and donated a unit to this General Hospital, Thrissur. So after that, slightly the lockdowns came down, and some customers were willing to spend money on the projects. So we started again with the hydroponics, and from that contacts I created during this hand washing kiosk and those ventilator development times, I got another potential investor, and right now we are doing that potential investor has do. Given us some funds to develop a product that can be used in houses to grow like lettuce, cabbage, cauliflower without uh, using soil, and it will be it's a fully automated system that little care is needed for the plants by the customer. So it can be used alongside the refrigerator, so that you can get fresh and pure uh, veggies. So that's my stories, and what I need to say is that you need to spend we need to learn from our mistakes. Like my first mistake was not putting some time in research for the first product, and I was in a hurry to establish this company, and I put a little time in this research, but in the long run, it resulted in that it resulted in more time than usual for this research. So I need you all to focus on research first, and what the customer needs, and satisfying the customer needs. So a bit more time into the research is not and it's not a thing. And we need to market. We need to search the market also. Our potential customers, will they buy it for this amount? And we need to give them a break even analysis of on if you buy our product, at what stage will you be profitable. In my case, this hydroponic fodder machine, it creates fodder like for in 6 days it creates around 200 kg of fodder. So what is the break even while using the current is there, initial investment is there. So what is the break even point when that the customer gets the profit from our machine? We need to make him understand that. So while going to the first customer, I created a timeline, and said to him that at this point of time you will be getting the milk output also will be increased, and you will be getting the profit from that. So that's all I have to say. So you need to learn from your mistakes, and identify what the customer needs and satisfy him. That's all I have to say about. Thank you, and we'll move on to next person.
Thank you, sir. Now I call upon Mr. Christo Colonur, co-founder and CEO of Astrotech, to share your journey.
Hello, is it audible for?
Yes.
Okay, I think Ruby is comfortable with Malayalam. So I begin with Malayalam. So it's only a short time. So ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഇപ്പോൾ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ റീസെന്റ് ആണ്. ഇപ്പോൾ 2020 ബാച്ച് ഔട്ട് ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങളുടെ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള മെയിൻ റീസൺ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഫൈനൽ ഇയർ പ്രൊജക്റ്റ് ആയിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ ഫൈനൽ ഇയർ പ്രൊജക്ട് എല്ലാവർക്കും ഒരു സ്പെഷ്യലായിട്ട് ചെയ്യണമെന്നുണ്ടാവും. അപ്പോൾ അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഞങ്ങളും ഒരെണ്ണം സ്പെഷ്യലായിട്ട് ചെയ്തു. അപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് അതിനുവേണ്ട ഗൈഡൻസും കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ കോളേജിൽ നിന്ന് നമുക്ക് പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്തിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ അതിൽ നിന്ന് നമുക്ക് ഒരു ഡോക്ടറിനെ നമുക്ക് ഗൈഡായിട്ട് കിട്ടി. തുടർന്ന് നമുക്ക് ആളോട് ഒരു സൊല്യൂഷൻ ചോദിച്ചപ്പോൾ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആളോട് ഒരു പ്രോബ്ലം സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെന്റ് ചോദിച്ചപ്പോൾ ആള് അന്ന് പറഞ്ഞത് നമ്മുടെ നിപ്പ ആ ടൈമിൽ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന ഒരു പ്രോബ്ലം ആയിരുന്നു, സാനിറ്റൈസിങ് അതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ളത്. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ അതിൽ റിസർച്ച് നടത്തി 2019 നമ്മൾ അതിനൊരു സൊല്യൂഷൻ ആക്കിയിട്ടാണ് ഒരു സ്റ്റെറിലൈസിങ് റോബോട്ട്, അതും UV ലൈറ്റ്സ് ഉപയോഗിച്ചിട്ട് ഒരു സ്റ്റെറിലൈസിങ് ഒരു ടെക്നോളജി നമ്മൾ ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തിരുന്നു. അപ്പോ അതിന് നമ്മൾ റിസർച്ചിങ് ആ സ്റ്റേജിലായിരുന്നു ആ ടൈമിൽ. പെട്ടെന്നാണ് നമുക്ക് കോവിഡ് വന്നത്. കോവിഡ് നമുക്ക് ഒരു തരത്തിൽ അനുഗ്രഹമായി, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഒരു ദോഷമായി എന്ന് തന്നെ പറയാം. കാരണം കോവിഡ് വന്നപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ ഐഡിയക്ക് വാല്യൂ കൂടുക, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ അതിനൊന്ന് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ആക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു ആവേശം വരും. അങ്ങനെ കുറെ കേസ് വന്ന് നമ്മൾ അതിനെ ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ആക്കി മാറ്റി. പക്ഷേ ഞങ്ങൾ ഇറക്കിയതിന്റെ സെയിം ടൈമിൽ തന്നെ ഇൻക്ലൂഡിങ് DRDO അതുപോലെ തന്നെ സം മൾട്ടിനാഷണൽ കമ്പനീസും സെയിം പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് തന്നെ ലോഞ്ച് ചെയ്തു. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മള് പക്ഷെ അതിന്റെ ഒരു മാർക്കറ്റ് അവരിപ്പോ പല കമ്പനീസ് ഇറക്കിയാലും അതിന്റെ മാർക്കറ്റ് ഒരു വലിയ മാർക്കറ്റ് തന്നെയാണ്. അപ്പൊ അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ നമുക്കൊരു പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ഇൻവെസ്റ്റർ നമുക്ക് ആ ടൈമിൽ കിട്ടി, ഒരു ഓസ്ട്രേലിയ എന്നുള്ളത്. അപ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹമായിരുന്നു പിന്നെ നമുക്ക് ബാക്കിയുള്ള ഒരു ഫണ്ടിങ്ങും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ കാര്യങ്ങളും നോക്കിയിരുന്നത്. അപ്പോ ഇതിപ്പോ ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഇതിലേക്ക് കയറി വരികയാണെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങളിപ്പോൾ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് 1 year ആവുന്നുള്ളൂ. അപ്പോൾ ഇപ്പോൾ കറന്റ്ലി ഞങ്ങളിപ്പോൾ 2 പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ഓൾറെഡി ലോഞ്ച് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, അത് മാർക്കറ്റിൽ അവൈലബിൾ ആണ്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ പാരലായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ സ്റ്റെറിലൈസ് ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ അതിനായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട മെഡിക്കൽ എക്യുപ്മെന്റ്സിന്റെ ചെറിയ ഡീലർഷിപ്പ് ഉണ്ട്. ആൻഡ് ഓൾസോ 4 പ്രൊജക്റ്റ് നമുക്ക് ഓൺഗോയിങ് ആയിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങളിപ്പോൾ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത് ഇപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങൾക്കെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ ആർക്കും റവന്യൂ ആയിട്ട് വന്നു തുടങ്ങിയിട്ടില്ല. എല്ലാവരുടെയും റവന്യൂ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇപ്പൊ ഈ പറഞ്ഞ ഓരോ പ്രൊജക്റ്റുകളും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഓരോ പ്രൊജക്ട് സെല് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ കിട്ടുന്ന ഓരോ സാലറി റവന്യൂ ഉണ്ട്. ആ റവന്യൂ എന്നാണ് നമ്മളടുത്ത അടുത്ത പ്രൊജക്റ്റിലേക്ക് ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്ത് നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ കമ്പനീനെയാണ് ശരിക്കും വളർത്തിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് ഓൾസോ ഞങ്ങളൊരു ടീമിനെ ഒന്നുകൂടി ഒന്ന് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. കാരണം ഇപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങൾ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തത് 4 പേരായിട്ടാണെങ്കിലും ഞാനും എൻ്റെ ഫ്രണ്ടായ ക്രിസ്റ്റോ വർഗീസായിട്ട് ചേർന്നിട്ടാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ എസ്ട്രോടെക് റോബോട്ടിക്സ് ആൻഡ് ഇന്നോവേഷൻസ് പ്രൈവറ്റ് ലിമിറ്റഡ് എന്ന കമ്പനി ലോഞ്ച് ചെയ്തത്. ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഇപ്പോൾ ഒപ്പം വർക്ക് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് ഏകദേശം 8ഓളം പേര് നമുക്കിപ്പോൾ കറന്റ്ലി ഉണ്ട് നമ്മുടെ ടീമിൽ. അത് ഗവൺമെന്റ് എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജിൽ നിന്നും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ വേറെ പുറത്തുനിന്ന് ഔട്ട്സോഴ്സ് ചെയ്തിട്ടൊക്കെ ഒരുപാട് പേരുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ റിജുവിനോടും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ലിസാറിനോടൊക്കെ പറയായിരുന്നു നമുക്കിതിപ്പോ ചോദ്യം തന്നെ ഒരു കുറച്ചുകൂടിയും പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സ്റ്റുഡൻസിനെ കിട്ടുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് എസ്ട്രോടെക്കിനോട് ചേർന്നിട്ടോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് ഒരുമിച്ച് ആണെങ്കിൽ ഒന്നുകൂടി വെഞ്ചറിനെ ഒന്ന് വലുതാക്കാം. കാരണം ഇപ്പം പല കോളേജിൽ നോക്കിയാലും ആ കോളേജ് തന്നെ ഒരു ടീം തന്നെ ഫോം ചെയ്ത് പോകുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഒന്ന് ഫോം ചെയ്ത് പോകാൻ എനിക്ക് താല്പര്യമുണ്ട്. പിന്നെ വേറൊരു കേസ് പറയാനായിട്ട് ഇപ്പം കുറെ പേര് ഇപ്പോൾ പഠിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന ടൈമിൽ തന്നെ കുറെ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്സിനും അതിനൊക്കെ ഭയങ്കര ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് എടുത്ത് വരുന്നുണ്ട്. പക്ഷെ എന്നിരുന്നാലും ഇപ്പൊ ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഇയറിൽ തന്നെ കോളേജ് കഴിഞ്ഞ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പിന്നീട് എത്രയും വേഗം ഒരു ജോലി, അത് IT ഫീൽഡ് മെക്കാനിക്കൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് പഠിച്ച ആൾക്കാരാണെങ്കിലും കൂടി IT ഫീൽഡോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ കസ്റ്റമർ കെയർ സെന്ററോ അത് ഏതാണെന്ന് നോക്കുന്നില്ല. പക്ഷെ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു ജോലി എന്നൊരു നിലയ്ക്ക് പോകുന്നത്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ പലരും ഇവിടെ നിന്ന് കഴിഞ്ഞ് ജർമ്മനി അതുപോലെ തന്നെ UK അവിടെയൊക്കെ പോയിട്ട് ബാക്കി ഹയർ സ്റ്റഡീസ് ചെയ്യാനും തുടർന്ന് അവിടെ തന്നെ പഠിക്കാനൊക്കെ ജോലി ചെയ്യാനൊക്കെ താല്പര്യപ്പെടുന്നുണ്ട്. പക്ഷെ അതിനൊക്കെ പകരം നമുക്കിപ്പോ നമ്മുടെ ഇന്ത്യയിൽ തന്നെ കേരളത്തിൽ തന്നെ അതിന് വേണ്ട ഒരു എക്കോസിസ്റ്റം ഉണ്ട് നമുക്ക് വളരാനായിട്ട്. അതൊക്കെ വിട്ട് പുറത്തു പോകുന്നതിനേക്കാളും നമുക്ക് മേക്ക് ഇൻ ഇന്ത്യ ആയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ തുടങ്ങുള്ളൂ കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ. അപ്പോ അങ്ങനെ കുറെ കേസുകളുണ്ട്. തുടർന്നും ഇപ്പോ കുറച്ച് സമയമേ ഉള്ളൂ നമുക്കിപ്പോ ഞങ്ങളെ പറ്റി കൂടുതൽ അറിയാനോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ വന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന ആൾക്കാർക്ക് വല്ല സജഷൻസോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ ഹെൽപ്പ് വല്ലതും വേണമെങ്കിൽ എൻ്റെ കോൺടാക്ട് സാറിൻ്റെ ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ആർക്ക് വേണമെങ്കിലും എന്നെ കോൺടാക്ട് ചെയ്യാം. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഞാൻ ഇപ്പോൾ സാൻജോ അതുപോലെ തന്നെ വരുൺ അത് വർക്ക് ഇവരുടെയൊക്കെ ടോക്സ് കേട്ടു. ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു ഇൻസ്പയർ ആണ്. ഞാൻ ഇപ്പോൾ വർക്ക് ചെയ്ത ചേട്ടനൊക്കെ വിളിച്ചിരുന്നു ഞങ്ങളുടെ തുടങ്ങിയ ടൈമിൽ. ഞങ്ങൾ ഇതുപോലെ തന്നെ കുറെ പേരെ ഞങ്ങൾ കോൺടാക്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് ഞങ്ങളിപ്പോൾ കുറെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ പഠിച്ചതും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ വളർന്നത്. തുടർന്ന് ഇവരുടെയൊക്കെ സപ്പോർട്ട് അതുപോലെ തന്നെ എല്ലാവരുടെയും സപ്പോർട്ട് ഉണ്ടാവുമെന്ന് പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കുന്നു.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Mr. Ajmal Bashir, founder of Jobified, to share your experience.
Thank you. So, first of all, a very pleasant good morning to one and all. I'm a student from Jyoti Engineering College, studying in third year. So I came into Jyoti as a usual student who came to complete engineering. And after I came into Jyoti, I got to know about startup, the startup ecosystem, Kerala Startup Mission and all. And it was a time when somehow I was able to offer a job through my friend to one of my cousin. So it made his family so happy and my family and myself so happy. So that was a turning point actually. Like that time I just thought like, what if I can provide jobs to millions, connect them with jobs or connect millions with jobs. So I just thought about making a platform just like Naukri.com. So I just started researching. It happened when I was in second year. So I just started researching. Till then, I just thought like starting a company is told to people who have a lot of money, who can risk a lot of money investing into the company. So till then, my mindset was like that. But then I got to know about startup ecosystem and all. So I got help from our IEDC, especially our beloved Anil sir. I just first of all I went to Anil sir and I contacted Anil sir and got to know about the opportunities that Kerala Startup Mission provides. So after that, my vision, I actually had a vision of providing jobs to millions or connecting them with jobs. So that's where Jobified, the journey of Jobified started. And after that, me and my friends from our own class uh, made a WhatsApp group and just made a logo for Jobified. It was initially known as JobGate India, and just got started with our works. So one of the things that I have understood is that a startup person should be jack of all trades. Basically, I'm from a tech background. We are all from a tech background, but that will not work when it comes to startup. We have to study a lot about human resource, HR, marketing, and a lot of other stuffs. So we should be like the jack of all trades. So and after that, I just got deep into startup, and I went for Tycon with the help of our college. So from Tycon, I was not able to connect with, even though I was there, I was able to watch the show and interact with some of the investors. I wasn't able to keep a contact with them or personally connect with them. But after that, I came back. I was so sad about that I didn't get any investor. And that was the first time. Like most of the people, most of the startup founders do, I also did this same mistake of trying to find an investor at the first time. Now the things have changed. Now the things are like, no investors will invest for ideas. They will only invest for products or startups having user base or customer base. So I wasn't knowing about that. And after that, I came into Jyoti. I was so sad that I didn't get an investor, even though I went there simply. But I got a lot of exposure to new things when I came into this startup thing. So I just got some of the people from our own class, and we just made a group and we started working on a product, a tech product. So I choose it to be a service-based product and a software product, because softwares are highly scalable and it can be used anywhere across the world. So my idea was to take a startup from India and solve the problem of unemployment by connecting people with jobs outside India. So it's like we made the platform. We was at the end of development of the platform, but then the COVID came. And when the COVID came, the hiring rate went dropping down. So it was like we got a beat on our face. We were not able to launch our product. So at the same time, most of the people in the Middle East was losing their jobs. So I just got an idea, like, what if we shift our market from India to outside India? It's like connecting the people, the expats or the expatriates who are working outside India. So I just focused on that core area, So I got to know that most of the people who go outside India, our expats, Pravasi, they face a lot of issue, and they continue to face a lot of issues more than a decade, from more than a decade. So this was my area of concentration, and I hope to produce make a product for them. So we just tilted, or we just shifted our whole concentration onto this issue, and we made a product called Jobified. Earlier it was known as JobGate India. Now we renamed and rebranded the company from JobGate to Jobified, and I just took a trademark with that. And after that, now I'm now in Salalah, Oman. I have been brought up here, and I have studied here. And studying here, I was able to see most of the people suffering from their daily job. Most of the people who come with dreams to this country, especially the GCC, Gulf countries, most of the people, for them, this is a dreamland, but most of them end up in wrong jobs and under wrong sponsors, who later on they will suffer with that job. They will not get enough salary, they will not be getting leave, they will not be getting any benefits, and they'll keep on suffering for their entire life. So this is the problem I wish to solve, and I'm mostly concentrating on it. And I'm so happy to share that we had an interaction with the startup mission CEO G. Gobinath sir, and we had interaction with the CEO of most of the organization working outside for the benefits of NRIs, and we got to get more benefits and more our inputs from them. And now our startup is selected for pitching under Kerala Startup Mission. So we are on our journey to launch our product and to make the best use of it, so that most of the NRIs, most of the people working outside get benefited. One of the main problem that we faced was legal issues. I just took care of the tech things, marketing, everything, but still we lacked a lot in legal issues. So many legal issues came. Like one of the main problem was protector of immigrants. It's a license that should be obtained for recruiting outside the country. But we were not a recruiting company. Still, we were under the law. We were considered like that. So and it needed an investment of almost 50 lakhs to solve the issue. But I was a person who didn't have money, that much money to invest, or when I went back of investors to invest, they were not ready. So but still we were able to manage that and solve the problem. So, and after that, when we came into the COVID, we were still solving this problem and making the product. That time we had a lot of cost issues, like we have to pay for trademark, we have to pay for company registration, domains, etc., hostings, and etc. So the thing that we did was, I just made another company. It was called Invoke Technologies. Just basic company, making websites and doing digital marketing. Just we partnered with one of the medical community, IFPH, International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. Almost 180 members were there, and we made websites for most of the members from the website. I mean, like a community, and we got a good revenue from that. And now we are using this revenue to maintain our company. So one of the thing I understood was that don't go behind investors. First of all, don't go behind investors. Just make your own money. There is many way to make money, and don't focus on making money. I just made this money because I need my company to run. Somehow I need my jobified company to run. So there was cost for team, there was cost for interns who developed the product, there were cost for other legal things and all. So but the thing was, like, we need money. At the end of the day, we need money to maintain the company. So I just made another company for web designing, and we got the revenue from that. Somehow maybe it's a luck, still we got revenue from that, and we were able to manage it with that. Now we have two companies. One is Jobify coming to launch, and one is Invoke Technologies, going in a good revenue state. Like we have almost a good revenue right now with just the website making. So the thing is that I just came across one of the book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. So I suggest most of you to read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. It will give an exposure to financial literacy. So one of the things that I got to know from that book was, if you want money, you have to think about other ideas. You have to think about other possible revenue sources or other possible ways. So it's like I'm not running behind money or not our team, but still we need, at the end of the day, we need money to run our company. Still we have to focus on the value that we provide to our customer. If we can solve one of the problem that each of the Indians face, then still our company will be valued even higher by solving a smaller or a single problem. So the only thing I would like to conclude by saying is that don't be settled for a less thing. Don't settle for less. Think outside the box. Come outside your comfort zone and go behind problems. There are many problems in India, and if you can find solution to it, then you are the next $1 million company. Then we are the next $1 million company, and we will be the next Ridesh Agarwal or the next Steve Jobs. So from the beginning, I was a student. Nobody was there to support me, and it's all that we have to pave the way for ourselves. So that's it. That was the thing I got. And when speaking, I got a lot of support from our father, Jos Kanamburas. He had motivated me a lot. We used to have meetups in college, and he had motivated. Sir has motivated me a lot, especially Anil sir too. We used to keep in contact. So all these resources are available to us, and they are keeping motivating us, and they want the best out of us. So please use the best out of IEDC and our resource persons. And I would like to conclude by saying that when I started the company, nothing was visible to me. As once Steve Jobs said, you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. So you have to trust and believe that somehow it will connect in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajmal. And thank you all for sharing your experiences. It serves as an inspiration for all of us. Now, as we come to an end, I invite Mr. Riju TR, CEO of IEDC JECC, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Riju, are you there? Riju? Hello? Riju?
If Riju is not there, somebody else can propose a vote of thanks and then wind up.
Anjali, you can go for vote of thanks and we'll conclude the meeting. Anjali?
Okay. So thank you everyone for attending the session. Thank you, Father Jos Kanampura, for attending the session and giving us all your inspirational talk. And all the speakers and all the entrepreneurs present here, thank you all for sharing your experiences. So we hope you had a wonderful time listening to the speakers. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, Anil.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. One more thing, Father. The work he have some product he already sent to me to show all the students out there. Amal Shibu, please do that. Amal. Like worky. Hello. Worky, slide working on okay. Can use the slide. Amal, okay, Amal. Amal, ഒന്ന് പ്രസന്റ് ചെയ്യോ ഒന്ന് ഇല്ല ഇല്ല അമൽ, പ്രസന്റ് ഓൺ ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ലേ? അല്ല, ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ, നൗ വിസിബിൾ.
ഞാനാണ് പ്രസന്റ് ചെയ്യണത്.
ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ.
Hope you can see. Okay, this is our hydroponic unit that the first product we developed. It's used in a cattle farm in Kandashangaru, Thrissur itself. So we are getting this output. This is the 6-day growth of our plants using artificial environment and artificial things and temperature control and full controlled environment. Around 7 parameters we controlled in this environment, and we grow this corn sprouts and feed it to cattle. Like from 1 kg of corn sprouts, we get around 7 kg of fodder. So it's a electronic section of our machine. So this is the different stages of that before mentioned COVID person. First, we started with the designing and we developed a simple prototype, and we met with some customers and pitched this prototype. And after that, we got the customer feedback, and we modified the designed and modified into a more appealing form. And we create, and these are the steps in the research. We put so much time in this research, so that this time we put so much time in research, and we were able to develop a good product.
This is fodder only, isn't it?
No, this product is for hand washing. Like during this COVID time, we used it's a automated 20-second hand washing kiosk.
No, the first one that you were showing was fodder. I mean the cattle feed, is it?
Yeah, this is the fodder machine.
Okay.
This one. We used an old shipping container for its durability, and we modified it to an hydroponic system in this machine.
Okay.
This is the currently developing product I told before for growing greens in homes like lettuce, cabbage, cauliflower, and other greens in homes. We are developing this machine currently in development. So around this in that holes we will plant different seedlings, and we'll be developing the seedlings in the tray. And after that, we'll be planting it to the holes so that till it gets mature. Then we can take the output from that from the system itself.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So thank you, Father. Thank you all the entrepreneurs for your precious time. So thank you everyone. Thank you each and every participants. Thank you all.
Okay.